never gets old. I like it.
It never gets old. No.
Hi everyone. Hi Moni. How are you
Hi.
doing?
Hi,
Hi
Limor.
everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. Welcome to our live. If you're familiar with our live, welcome back. We're happy to see you. If you're not familiar with our live, we talk about everything related to spirituality, how it relates to the relationship with yourself and with others. We talk about all the emotional stuff, people pleasing, needing external validation, low
Mm.
self-esteem, and whatnot. Right? So this is your safe place. Feel free to, we can talk about everything as long as it's legal, right? So feel free to ask question in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, feel free to uh, make a comment in the comment section, and we'll be happy to answer them.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for being here. And Mani, do you know what today's topic? I have a
Oh,
question for
feeling.
you. Are you feeling scared of the unknown? So do you sometimes feel anxious or worried anytime you face uncertainty in your life, right? And you find yourself actually not doing anything because you are scared of the unknown. We all have been there, right? And we, from time to time, we visit that territory, right, Mani? What do you think about
Oh,
that?
definitely.
This topic?
This is yet another brick in the deconstruction, basically,
Mm-hmm.
of our paradigms that we've been operating on since we were very, very young. It's what we got taught. um we developed this bias that the unknown is not safe, and so
Yes.
you're hardwired really not to go take any risk. So anything that's unknown presents a potential danger, which goes against the whole you might not survive that uncertain situation.
Yes.
So your ego is built to keep you safe. That's its job, is just to keep you safe. It keeps you locked in unhealthy places, but it wants to keep you safe. So this is definitely a very good topic.
Yes, so in this live, we're going to talk about what you can do when fear of the unknown shows up, right? And how
Yeah.
to finally let it go once and for all. Most of it. We can't really, we are always healing. We're never like really healed for life, right?
Right.
We have like this conception that, after we going through our spiritual awakening and doing a lot of healing work, we are not going to face any challenges. But it's not really
Oh,
like that, unfortunately, right? And you said something earlier because our brain wants to be safe, right? So when there's like uncertainty in our life, you are literally going to think that you are going to die. Like literally, I'm going to die. I'm going, and I find myself a lot of the time when I wanted to start something new, or I just, I'm going to be vulnerable. Just when I started like to be in social media, like my first video, I was really scared to upload it because at the beginning you have like a lot of like, oh, others are going to see me, how do I look in camera, I don't look that good, like in reality I look bad, like all this stuff comes up, right? A lot of things that you, all of the shadow aspects, like it comes up, right? So
yes.
literally I heard someone like a quote saying, and I embraced it, like when I uploaded this like first video. Hi everyone, good morning. So when I uploaded my first video, I told myself, you know what, Limor, you are not going to die. And I just hit publish, right? So we literally things because there are things that we haven't like, we haven't done yet. So you think that the unfamiliar is a scary place and you're going to die and you're not going to survive and you just want to run away and hide. Right? So feel
Yes.
free to ask questions in the chat if you have questions. So today's topic is about, are you feeling scared of the unknown? Right? So Mani, what do you think?
So yeah, this is something that people a lot of people, unless you are you set yourself on the path for doing your awakening, for deconstructing who you were told you were, that you accepted as
Mm-hmm.
absolute truth. When you're deconstructing that and wanting to reconstruct to who you are, who you want to be on your terms, sort of thing, this is one of the hardest aspects to let go of, because now your ego that has kept you safe for so many years says, no, if you take
Yes.
this away, here's my analytics, like there's a very large percentage that we're gonna
Yes.
unalive ourselves with something like that. And so it sets
Right.
off the fear and the anxiety, because it, again, the ego's only job is to keep you safe. It keeps you alive.
Yeah, and
um
everything we ever wanted is found in the unknown, right?
this is true.
So I don't know it because if it was in the known, you would already experience it, right? So if you want to have like a new experience or something new that you haven't, or you want to attract something into your reality or into manifesting and stuff, so you have to be comfortable with the unknown because your non-familiar, your surrounding right now, it's the known. And the known, you're not going to experience all the things that you want in the familiar environment. So
Yep.
like the universe like has to take you and to put the unknown, right? Because all the possibilities, all the things that you want to experience are found in the unknown. So you just, there's a certain point that you just have to, how do you say, like ride the wave, right? You just have like, whatever, you
you
know?
you got to you got to let go and trust that the flow of that river that you're in is going to take you to the right destination. It does, but
And you know, and even sometimes you have to roll with the punches,
yes.
right?
Hmm.
Because it's going to be like a bumpy road. You're not going like success or everything that you want. It's not linear, right? You're going to take two steps forward and
Forward.
one step back, right? So it's
It's the
not
cha cha
linear.
cha.
Exactly. It's like a dance. It's like a dance. And you know what? And you know what? You remind me of something. Like I heard it, like someone like talking about it on YouTube. Like if you want, a lot of the time we think that actually the universe is against us, right? Because what the hell, I'm not, because you're not familiar. You started to change your environment, you started to experience things, or like people are dropping out of your life, or you're not like, wait a minute, what's going on here, right? And a lot of
Right.
the time you think that the universe is against you, and a lot of the time the universe is going to bring you things that you're not really like, that not really attractive, like you don't really want, right? So you can look at the universe as like a waiter, right? He wants like he calls it like the universal gentleman or lady. Like if you are a woman, right? So let's say you're on a dance and there's like a lot of food. So he like bring you something, but it's not something that you really want, right? That you really like to
Right.
eat. So you're not telling the universe, no, 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 I don't want it. What are you? No, 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 I don't like it. You're not like declining the universe, or like, you know what? No, you're starting to be upset with the universe. You just, you know what? No, thank you. Thank you. And then the universe is going to bring you something else, right? Something that you like something better. So this is like you said, it's like a dance, you know? So you're not going to receive everything at the beginning. It's going to be like a process. It's like a
Yes.
dance, right? And something else that I wanted to touch on, it's like the fear of success. Because
That's a
sometimes
big
we are
one.
scared. Yeah, because sometimes like the unknown, why we are so scared? We are scared of the unknown because we think that we are going to fail. Because it's not familiar, right? And the things that we haven't done before, right? And it's unfamiliar territory, right? You're
Mhm.
like, like you're like in like an open field, and you don't have like your GPS, right? And you're like, I don't know what the f I'm doing, you know. But I want to do it. I know that I want to do it. I just, so it's not, sometimes it's not just the fear of failure, it's the fear of success. And especially it's hard for us, you can call it like empath, people that can feel other people's energy, because sometimes, let's say, or for someone that experienced a lot of trauma, we are we have like a fear of not being seen. So when you have like to be vulnerable, or when you feel like the spotlight it's on you, like, oh no, 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 thank you, I'm just a regular person. I'm not like, I never thought in a million years that I'm going to do like videos on YouTube. And I'm like, no, I don't like the camera. You know what I'm saying? No, no. Yes, I like, it's just because there is certain point that you even like feel you have like a fear of success, right? Because like, again, if you experience a lot of trauma, or you like for me, I was bullied when I was a child. So for you, being in the spotlight, it's not safe
Correct.
in a way.
Because being
It's
single,
not safe.
traditionally speaking, like we're
Hmm.
going back, several 100,000 years or whatever, but basically if we are singled out, that gives others the opportunity to decide that we are not part of the group, ergo we do not share in the resources. And if you did not share in the
Exactly.
resources, you got kicked out of the, out of the clan sort of thing, and you were left to fend on your own, which is da 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 unsafe. So this is where this got hardwired into our psyche sort of thing. So being singled out gives us the possibility of being excommunicated, of being shunned, of being bullied, of being singled out. And
Exactly.
so this is where this is where kind of our paradigm starts, and this is where it stays
And
until
especially until go ahead.
until we actually think about, we question our beliefs, we question our biases, our bases, our paradigms, our operating programs, if you will. Once those start to get questioned, you're strong enough to handle the answer.
Exactly. And like, let's talk about the fear of success. A lot of like, you have like the basic fear, like, I think that what's behind the fear of success, it's the fear of being judged,
Hmm.
right? Because when you are hiding out in your room or whatever, no one can judge you, no one can hurt you. You're
You're
like
in the safe
safe in
zone.
a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're safe, but you become like miserable. And I've noticed that a lot of the things that we have resistance towards, actually, they are the most liberating things. And these are the things that you really subconsciously want to experience.
True.
Like for me, oh no, no, I don't like the camera or whatever. This is the story I was telling myself, to not be in front of the camera. I'm not going to be in camera, you know. And now, like, I love being in front of the camera, right?
Exactly.
I like it. And so what can you do when you feel like you are in the unknown? So I'm going to tell you like a story that I experienced, and the conclusion of the story is actually what you can do about it. So what you can do about it, I'm just going to tell you, and then I'm going to elaborate. It's to accept and expect. Okay, so I'm going to explain what do I mean by that. So a few years ago, like mine, I actually told the story in one of my videos. My three nephews wanted to me to take them to a basketball game at the last minute, right? Because I love basketball, and then I love basketball, and they're like, let's go to. So it was like at the last minute, so we couldn't like found tickets online, and it was a championship game. Okay,
Mm,
so we got to the stadium, and of course it was full. And sometimes people like sell you tickets, outside the stadium, but
yeah.
no ticket. No, we asked like everyone. And like
Mm.
my nephews, they were little, and one of them was really vocal about it. Oh my God, we came in for nothing, or whatever, But we took the chance. But of course, they were like disappointed. Oh my God, we came in for nothing and stuff. So we were four, right? So we needed four tickets. So you know what? I'm just like at the moment, let's just wait. And like in my heart, I'm like, okay, universe, okay, guys, okay, you have to create miracle right now for me. Okay, and this is what was saying from said, and I trust you. Like,
Right.
and all of a sudden, like a guy comes up to us and like, he's like, you know what? I have like three tickets. Do you want to buy three tickets? And I'm like, no, we are four. I can't buy three tickets because we need an extra ticket. Because if we're not going to get an extra ticket, we can't like buy three of them. And he wanted, and then he came back. This guy, and he's telling me, you know what? Just take the tickets. You don't have to pay. And I'm like, oh my God. And just take them. So as I was taking the tickets and I'm like saying, okay, thank you, like a father with a daughter, he tapped on my back. Hey, I heard you need an extra ticket? I have like, an extra ticket. So do you want to buy it? Just give me whatever money that you want. Just give him one money for one ticket. And then we
Oh,
have like we received the four tickets, and you know what? So it's just it's not that we even pay for three of them. So the result was better than I expected. Just because I stopped, I accepted the situation, and I expected it to be resolved.
yes.
And I was completely in the unknown. It
Exactly.
did not a miracle. So it was better than I thought because I paid for only one ticket. So it was like a miracle. And like people tell me, Limo, you're the only one that can pull that off. It's just because I was telling myself, you know what? I expect a
Yes.
miracle. So okay, so you have to first, if something comes up, like if you feel like a shift, and a lot of time it's like a shift before a breakthrough, first accept the situation. Okay, this just happened, like things are starting to move, right? I see movement. And then instead of expecting the worst, expect the best results for you. What do you got to lose? You don't have to lose,
Right.
so
100%.
this is, yes.
So,
So
yes, so
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
the unknown can feel scary. You're acknowledging and accepting. Yes, it can feel scary, but you know what? Everything that we want is just beyond where that fear goes. So it's,
Exactly.
and you expected your results to be delivered to you. Now, there are a lot of people that are on this journey that are going, that is not the way the universe works. And we are here to say, au contraire, actually, science does point to the fact that yes, it does. Your mind shapes the reality before you. Ergo, it must respond to your expectations or where you put your energy and your focus. This is how it works. Everything we've been taught is
Exactly.
completely bass backwards. Like, it's crazy.
Exactly. And you know what? Another thing, like if things are not going as I expect them to be. So I heard Rhonda Byrne, the author of The Secret.
Yep.
So every time I heard her say that, every time there's something that, if something is happening and it's not according to your expectations, so you can ask yourself, I wonder what a good things can come out of it, you know? So every time, oh, I
Yes,
wonder, like, I wonder. And yeah, so like you said, like things are going to change according to your expectations, right? And a lot of the time, this, like, if you feel like you're in a dead zone, it's actually right before a shift.
that's the void. Yes. Dead zone,
Yeah,
void, it's all the same. Yeah, and it's crazy. And a lot of it,
like
but
right
every one of
before,
us has been through this. Every one of
yeah,
us.
like think about it. Right before a breakthrough, you like just, you know what? It's not going to happen, like nothing is happening, like if you are doing the work, right? If you are doing the work and you're like staying positive and you have like intentions and you visualize and you whatever, right? And then like you're like, you know what, I don't see anything, it's not going to work. You like, I actually see the opposite in my reality. Like
Exactly. Yes.
instead of what I want, I experience what I don't want. But this is just part of the shift. This is like the a pivotal point. Like it's like we talked about it before. It's like when you're having like a U-turn, right? Right before you're having like a U-turn, you have to slow down, right?
Yes.
Nothing is happening, and all of a sudden, oh my God, you're at the opposite direction, right? Things are moving fast, right? So sometimes this slowing down, this unknown territory, this it's scary, right? Because we want to know what's going to happen. Our brains wants to know, right?
So it can plan for our survival. Yes, because that's its job.
Exactly. Mania, you experienced something like this before? Like in the
Many
unknown?
times. Oh, many times. Many
Yes.
times. Yes.
Especially when we start something new, because when we start something new, we have a lot of fears, we have a lot of doubts, and we are, oh my God, what are we going to do if it's not, if it's not going to work? So our minds are going to drive us crazy. So you have like to use your willpower to override your conscious mind, right?
Yep.
And you're like, okay, like this is the unknown, because like I said, all the things you want are found in the unknown. You're not going to find them, because what if you want to experience something, what you've done so far is not going to get you anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So you have to change like new habits, new state of mind. But the fundamental things is just to trust. I'm telling you, if you're not going to do anything, just by trusting, you're going to manifest.
Yes.
I know a lot of people that they're not into spirituality or manifestation or whatever, but they do manifest. You know why they manifest? Because a lot of them, they are in a surrender mode. Like, okay, it is what it is. I'm not saying that like every
Right.
situation we have to accept, but and sometimes those things that are going to happen, like the unfamiliar things, is just things that are going to put you in a surrender mode, because this is what you have to be in order for you to progress and see things happening in your life, right? So sometimes things are going to look like chaos, or things are not going to go as planned. It's just because that the universe wants you to surrender and you to say like, you know what, I don't care, like F this. Like whatever.
Huh. That raging river that we don't know how deep it is, we don't know where it's going to, sort of thing. Nope, it is safer to stay here in this rock. I'm not going anywhere, but at least I'm staying alive, kind of thing. This is where this is the test ultimately, and figuratively speaking, is
Exactly.
is everything that you want, is letting go. You need to let go of that rock that you're holding on to, that's keeping you anchored on the side of that river, and just let it go. Like that that destination that you're going to get to is ultimately what it is that you wanted. It's having the
Exactly. And you
faith
know
to
what?
let it go.
And you know what? as far as I see, there are two choices. And like I have questions to the audience, right? Which one do you prefer? The fear of the unknown or the fear of regret?
Mm. Yep.
There is one question that I asked myself. I saw it like on a video, like on YouTube. Like I'm asking myself, like 10 years from now, if I'm not going to do it, am I going to regret it? If the answer is yes, so I know that I have like to do something. Like I
Yeah.
just have to start. You just have to start. I made actually a live about it, a short live this week. You just have to start. So you don't have to do something like extreme, right? So and this is another thing. So if you are having like if you are scared of the unknown and you want to change and you want to do something, you don't have to do something extreme. You can do like a small step, like like having like a phone call, or like let's say you want to go to school or you want to just go in line, just take the first step. And a lot of people, like, they're staying like frozen and they don't do anything because their mind, like, oh, it's going to take time. You don't know what's going to happen, whether you succeed, whether it's going to be like a disaster or whatever, right? So we stay like we don't do anything. But like
Exactly.
time is going to pass anyway. So
This is
just
true.
start today, because time will pass anyway. So at least, okay, so it will take like 10 years. So start today. Because, so what do you prefer, like 10 years from now, to be in the same place or to be in another place,
So I
right?
was gonna say, so there, when you're saying we're gonna, which do you prefer? Staying in the fear sort of thing that
Fear
keeps
of the
you in.
unknown or the fear of the
Yeah.
staying the
uh,
same?
or the fear of regret sort of thing.
Yes,
Now, there comes a, I mean, it's sometimes, I know in previous years sort of thing, before I got to where I'm at now, I had to ask myself that question many times over and check in with myself. And at the time, the fear of the unknown was greater than what I would feel regret would feel like. But over time, as you progress sort of thing, and you do the work and you do the growth, when the when you ask yourself that question and all of a sudden the answer is, I am less afraid of the unknown and more afraid of staying where I am and missing out on stuff and not taking the chance and not going where I feel led to go sort of thing, that fear of regret becomes greater than your fear of the unknown. So it's not something you ask yourself one time and that determines your
exactly,
life course sort of thing. It may be something you may have to ask yourself quite a few times in your lifetime, and you pivot as many times as you
exactly.
need to.
Exactly. So, in our life, we're going to experience challenges either way. So, which
Mhm.
one do you want? Do you want the challenges that the universe, is going to give you, like, anyway? Or do you want to pick your challenges, right? Towards the goals and the things that you want, rather than, things that are being like forced on you by life because you are not doing anything. So sometimes, because, like, let's say someone is like stuck in a job that it doesn't like for 10, 20 years, right? And he's like miserable,
Mhm.
but he's not going to do anything. So one day he's being like fired, so maybe because it's the universe saying, like, you know what, you don't like this job and you're not going to do anything. So I'm going to sweep in and do it
Mhm.
for you,
Yep, I
right?
had that happen to me last year.
Yeah. Well, it was a job that you didn't like.
Oh, it was, I mean, it was a good job, but circumstances just became a certain way, and it was not. um I may not have been like, happiest sort of thing, but the security of it was what I clung to.
Yes,
And ultimately the universe is going, this is not really what you signed up for. And if you're not going to do it, I'm going to have to step
right,
in for you
right.
and put in that separation sort of thing.
It's a
And
it's a false security. It's a false one, right?
yeah,
We think that we are being safe or we are like, you know, and you see it like every day. Like people that are like they are leaders or like the CEO of a company, and they have like everything, like big salary, like fancy car and whatever, and one day they lose everything. You know, you think that you are safe by like say like having stuff, but no, there are no guarantees in life, right? And we are in this 3D reality like for a short period of time, like in this reincarnation, right? For a short period of time. So if you are not going to do it, like time is going to, pass by anyway. So
hmm,
I'm not saying so. If you have like fear of the unknown and circumstances that you don't like, first just accept the situation, and then ask yourself, what can I do? Just one small thing that you can do, right? In order for you to feel like you are doing some kind of progress, right? So
yes,
it, like I said, you don't have to be like extreme about it or like, living everything. I'm going to, be at my home meditating, visualizing, not doing anything, and this is going to be my life. No, right? You can incorporate it with your daily life, right? With your, with your daily life. You just have to make time for it. So just do one little things. It's like a cliche. Do one every day, one day that scares you. But it doesn't have like to scare you. You don't have to, to jump from a cliff or something, right? You just do one small step towards your goal or your dream or something that you want to attract, right? Just go online, just read a book, just talk with someone that already been through what you want to do, right? If you want to create a business, just think about like how do you like your business to be? Like um, start to think about or entertain, with the thought about like, oh, how is my life is going to be when I accomplish that, right? So, and the unknown, you have to be familiar to make the unfamiliar familiar, so to speak, like to be uncomfortable with not knowing or not seeing. Or like
right,
there are many times I done said, you know what, I don't know what the F I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. And every
yes,
time when I did it, it was like the best decision I ever made.
yes.
Because there's a saying, uh, the treasure you seek, something like in the unknown, the treasure you seek like are found in the unknown.
Right.
So like it feels scary, you have a lot of resistance, but it happens to be after you experience the best thing that ever happened to you.
Yep. And you see why and how things had to happen the way that they did in order for you to fully appreciate whatever it is that is brought into your life for your highest good sort of thing. So when you're
Exactly.
when you are when you have a fear of success basically, or because it or a fear of growth, a fear of leaving the familiar behind, which is completely and totally understandable. So fear tries to keep you in what is familiar because the familiar is safe. Now, even the familiar can be unhealthy, if it keeps you in
Ex-
abusive situations or relationships
exactly.
because they're familiar. you can, survive them. That's when you know, no, this is it's there is much better out there, and the alignment that you're looking for asks you to surrender that feeling that you need to control. And it tests how committed you
Exactly.
are to that. It presents you the old lesson again to see if you're going to make the same choice. It's never a mistake, it's always a choice. You have to live with that
Exactly.
choice. You can always change it. And that as when that inner drive exceeds the fear of the unfamiliar, that's an inner shift, and that needs to happen before anything in your exterior experience shows up. So, one small step is enough to create that forward movement and momentum that breaks you out of where you are.
Exactly. Like you said,
Speaking from
like
experience.
yeah, like you said, like the familiar can be really, really toxic. And a lot of the time, so all the chaos you experience, you have to, the universe doesn't want you to stay in this like toxic environment or whatever. So everything has to crumble. Everything has to crumble. It's just before my spiritual awakening or everyone's spiritual awakening, like everything was good and fun, and all of a sudden, like your what start to crumble, and like what the hell? Like I don't know what's happening. You know, like, but if you want to grow and evolve, you can't stay in the familiar, in the familiar territories, right? And like you said something that sometimes we have to experience the opposite of something that we want to experience just to appreciate it, right?
Yep,
A lot
exactly.
of the time we take everything for granted, right? And then when we lose it for a while or whatever, we start to have like a much more like sense of gratitude, and we know how to appreciate it, right? Because we live in a world of duality. So sometimes all the darkness and the all the hardship you experience, it's just for you to have gratitude, and for you to appreciate what things that you are going to experience. And sometimes, like you said, you experience those things, but you are not quite ready for them, right?
Yes.
So then you have to have like another cycle of chaos and things not working out. And then you are, oh, you know what? I appreciate it now. Yes, yes, thank you, universe. So sometimes you're being thrown to the unknown because this is just part of the process, right?
Yes.
If you want to get to the magic garden or whatever, sometimes you have to go through darkness, right? You have to go through the like to the through the woods. Like you don't have to do what you don't know what you are going to encounter along the way. But sometimes this is just part of the journey because you don't really expect that your journey is going to be like smooth sailing, right? Even though we
Exactly.
like to,
We like the
we
smooth
can,
sailing parts. Mhm.
what?
I said we like the smooth sailing parts, although some of us don't trust them because you go through enough turmoil sort of thing, and suddenly if things come easy, you're just like, this has not been my experience.
Yes,
I'm uncomfortable with this.
exactly.
Like,
This is the fear of success. Like things are starting to work out for me. Oh my God, yeah. Oh, I think they're going to think I'm a fraud or something. No. I don't think it's not me, because this is about another thing. This is about your self identity. If you don't look at yourself as someone that is successful or whatever, maybe you experience a lot of failures. I don't like to use the word failures, but you know what I'm saying? Like
challenges.
maybe, yeah, you experience a lot of challenges, and but the past is not equal the future.
Correct.
So if you're going to, to continue to tell yourself the story of you are not being successful, or things are not working out for you, or if you are in the unknown. So it's if you experience something unfamiliar, it's not something good. Nothing good is going to come out of it. So this is the same old story, and this is how you contaminate this perfect present moment, which create your so-called future, right?
So yeah, this is so here's the cool thing. One of the things that you brought up is actually so the 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 universe, it likes speed, it likes forward motion, it likes when you start taking those steps out in faith. Life tends to, you need to let life meet you halfway. You're not meant to do all the work. You're responsible
Exactly.
for taking that forward movement and for building that momentum, that velocity. And the universe can only give you what it is that you are. In which case, so if you are okay, I'm forward moving, the universe says, okay, we're going to give you more forward movement. Brakes coming
Exactly.
off. Here we go. And
Because
that
the
does not
universe
have
is
to be
doing one
scary.
big, yeah, and this is because the universe is just one big copying machine, right?
Yeah,
So, right, it reflects your energy back to you.
exactly. So you don't need to
So
have it all
if
figured out. We need to make that point very, very clear. You don't need to know the next step. You only need to take that first step. It's everything gets
exactly,
revealed as you go along, sort of thing. And releasing that control
exactly.
allows everything to flow towards you. It's really amazing how it is that we keep blocking ourselves without recognizing it.
Exactly. So how do you trust? How do you change this fear of the unknown? Just recognize that courage. It doesn't mean that you're not going to feel any like fears or something. Courage is feeling the fear and doing it anyways, right?
Yes,
So you are going to experience fear while being in the unknown, but you're going to do it anyway. And this is the real like triumph, right? And if you're going to take two things from this life, how do you change it? How do you experience the unknown? Accept it, accept the situation, and expect it to turn out better than you ever imagined. So
exactly.
accept
Yes,
and expect.
I like it. That's good. That's a good thing for
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
So, what are your
So
closing thoughts, Limor?
wow, my closing. We are in the unknown almost every day. It doesn't have to be like something big. It just has to like you want to, I don't know, to try out and go to eat in a like a new place, and you're like, oh, I'm going to drive to the other part of town, and I don't know if it's like successful, like little things. So just I always like I have a client. She has like a problem like making decisions, and every time she makes decisions she starts to question herself. So I'm telling her, you know what, before you make the decision, ask yourself a bunch of questions like, no, I'm going to do it, I'm not going to do it, like pro cons whatever, like all. But once you make a decision, trust that decision, even if it's not like the best decision. So why do you have to trust it? Because you chose it. So just tell yourself, because I made the decision, it means that that's the right decision for me, because something guided me to make that decision. So it must be the right decision for me right now. So
Yeah,
even if you don't, so this is how you create your reality. You expect your decision to be a successful one. And if it's not, you can always change direction
this is
as
true.
long as you're going. If you're not doing anything, you're not going, you can't change direction. So start going, and along the way, you can always change the direction, right?
Exactly. Yeah, this is a super cool topic, and I'm glad everybody got to join us today. If you have any
Yes,
questions on anything that Lamora said, please leave a comment and she'll do her best to get back to you. And she also has a free 30-minute clarity call that she posts a link to that is, I urge you to take advantage of that just once. It's unknown, it might sound a little scary, but I'll bet it turns out better than you ever imagined.
yes. Thank you. Thank you. So, thank you everyone for joining. Right. So, if you have questions, feel free. We are here every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy this live, and we are going to see you in the next live. Money, our little heart.
Ta-da! Boop. There we go. Perfect.
Yay!
Yeah.
Love you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye
everybody.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.